So it's important for business owners and marketers to have a really good marketing toolbox. So what I mean by that is have some things at your disposal, right? Some things you can use if you need to.
Okay, so sorry.
With a good plan.
You go.
With a good plan, you shouldn't need a toolbox, but everybody needs a toolbox. Stuff does go wrong, stuff does break. You need to fix stuff and change stuff every so often, right? So one of my favourite ways of making a good tool is, when I've done some marketing, it's gone well, document it. Make it a thing, make it a product, make it a process.
Yeah.
Keep it in the back pocket. If I need to do that thing again, I can use the same tool. We don't have to do the creative, we don't have to do the thinking time, the time and the budget. We already have the tool. We all know the tools in our heads, but make them a physical thing, document.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think, as a starting point for that, you make a really good point that actually I see so many businesses that do something that really works and they never do it again.
Because they like to do new stuff.
Yeah,
people like to do new stuff.
And again, that's part of the marketing world we live in, because everything's new and shiny and we should do this and do that. And I think of what I wrote a letter for a guy, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and it made him about 25 grand. Yeah. And just off this one letter, and it was a good letter, I'll be honest, I'm not going to say it, I wrote it quite well, it was the right thing at the right time to the right folk. But kind of, I saw him a couple of weeks ago, I said, well, have you done that letter again? Well, no. And he, as soon as I said it, he kind of like, and a penny drops, and we all do it, God, we all do it. But I think you are right, having that, I suppose it almost take a layer, I think I understand. I always say you almost kind of take a layer of the thinking out. So actually you think, well, I've got to do some more stuff. Well, actually, in my toolbox, I've got this direct mail piece really well. That style of blog worked really well. Actually, when I needed to drive some engagements, I did some ads on Facebook that were this style. Is that what you mean? Can I have that?
Exactly that. So that forms, like we talked about before, about doing small, frequent, targeted campaigns. Right? Yeah. If you do one that gets a lot of sign-ups, go, okay, what happened there? We did it to these people, we used this type of image, we did that. That becomes one of your tools. So next time you do a Facebook ad campaign to the similar people, not even the same audience, right? The same sort of campaign, you can use that. You can take learnings that you see from other industries, a thing we've talked about as well in other videos.
Yeah.
Right, you could go, that looks really good. How can I use that in my business? Make it a tool. And what you'll see by documenting this process, whether it's online, whether it's in a notebook, it doesn't matter. But if you document them, they become little marketing assets, little tools that you can whip out whenever you need some. Because nobody has got time to be a proper professional marketer if they're running a small business, right?
And I suppose the big part of this is actually what you're looking for. Ignore the stuff you've done yourself for a second, but what you're looking for in everything else is actually the concept of it. And I think for lots of people this isn't about just recreating it. Look at what has worked and then do more of it. So I look at just after the World Cup, I think it was June, did a really good bit of marketing where emails landed 2 minutes before kickoff. And I forget the words, but it effectively said, look, if you aren't bothered about the football, why don't you spend 90 minutes shopping with our offer?
Yeah.
And I think, that is a brilliant thing to do. And I forget the figures, but it worked massively. I shared it around and so many people said, oh yeah, my husband bought this, my wife bought this. And so it's clearly something that works. Now you've got two options, I suppose. Option one is you do exactly the same thing. And I think for a lot of businesses, that's a good thing to do, to literally cut and paste, not with shoes and stuff. There is a proper kind of cut and paste, drop the right thing at the right time. But I think also in that you think, well, okay, what's the concept behind it? And they were calling it out. They were talking to people that weren't interested in the mass hysteria of it. And I think that's the kind of thing that you need to look at. Again, we've spoken a bit about Colin from Magical Maths before, and it was really interesting when he spoke at the event. Kind of two kind of types of people that spoke to me about him afterwards. Genuinely smart guy here. But there were those that said, just brilliant. The whole one-click upsell concept, that's just genius. And there were loads of people, well, not loads, there were a handful that came to and said, well, that wasn't very useful at all because I don't have an online business. And you just think, you are missing the absolute point here. Here is a thing, at the point of purchase, ask another question.
That's it.
And that's the thing.
Ask one more question.
And it doesn't matter if you're online, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what we're talking about here, is that, in having a list of stuff that you've done that works, you can do again, having a view of what other worlds, what other industries, what other people are doing that is doing, working out why they're doing it, what the concept behind it, and then working out how do I do that in my business.
So to make that a tool, the one-click upsell would be a tool, or the one more question, right? When you sell whatever you're selling, ask for one more thing.
Yeah.
That's the tool. That's the tool that you use to increase profitability.
And then you
have to use it all the time, but you have it. You know what it is. You know what it's for. You know what it does.
Yeah. And just look at the stuff. So look at, let's take LinkedIn for example. I know when I put an article on LinkedIn, I get X many people look at it, engage with it, whatever it is. I know when I get these videos on there, that skyrockets 6 or 7 times. So okay, take the concept of that and turn that into, well okay, when I'm going to sell my thing, well I'm going to try it with a video-led approach, because we know video gets more engagement, we know video gets more people to see it, and it's that kind of thing, having that toolbox and having that kind of campaign, and I suppose the ideal scenario is that you create these things and you get to a point where you can say to one of your team or whoever, look, go and find me 10 of these, do these 2 things to them, do this, do that, and tell me when this happens.
I mean, from a practical perspective as well, you can do that sort of thing. When you're scrolling your Facebook, as not through work, and you see an ad that you click on or you like, note it down. Say, what did they ask me to do, what sort of image it was. There'll be probably a learning there that you can make a tool. When you're watching on YouTube, what's your favourite YouTube video? What's your favourite advert? Is it like the Chatbox one or the Old Spice man on a horse thing? Right, do you
that
like
was brilliant.
It was brilliant. Like what was the good bit about it, and how can you what made you stop? What made you watch it? What can you do?
And you have to go, as you said I think earlier on, you've got to go further than that, because if people are just looking at it and thinking, well okay, I haven't got a horse, I haven't got a man, I don't sell this, then you're missing it. And it will be for some of you, it'll be much harder to do the concept, to absolutely recreate that, but the concept remains the same. Of something has to happen that is different to make these people watch, because that's all that happened. Man on the Horse was just a different way of selling the same thing, and we've said this before. All of us need 52 different ways to say the same thing.
That's it, and they form your toolbox. It's important to start that process. To be conscious of doing that thing, and you'll make a really good toolbox. You'll know in a few months' time that you'll have loads of tools, and it'll be easier for you to come and go to market for things. It will just become easier,
and it'll save you time and it'll save you money, because you do need 52 ways of saying the same thing. But with the toolbox, you probably only need 20, because you've got 30 that have worked. And each year you go on and you get that. And if you're looking for it that way, it just save you a load of time, it'll save you a load of money, and crucially, it'll boost up the bottom line as well.
Stuff like email headlines, websites you like, videos you like, ads you've clicked on, article headlines, content ideas, questions you've been asked. These all form little tools. Just store.
Just store them. My old boss again used to call them a swipe file. He just had a file on his computer. I've got a plastic box in the office up there. Any bit of marketing I see, I just put in there. If I'm stuck, I just have a flick through it. But this is about making your business more profitable, because it's easier and quicker to get more stuff done that actually works.